Hi traders, and welcome to today's ACY Securities Forex Market Analysis. My name is Duncan Cooper and I will be your host. Today I'll be focusing on the pound to the Japanese yen. So first we'll look at the news items coming out for the week, and then we'll have a look at the charts. Hi traders, just at forexfactory.com. Today I'm going to be reviewing the pound to the Japanese yen. So with that in mind, let's look at the news items that could affect that pair. So these times are my time, Queensland time. So today we have 11:30 p.m. the US PPI coming out. Tomorrow, Wednesday, 5 p.m. my time, we've got the pound CPI. Later in the evening, 11:30 p.m. we've got the US core retail sales and retail sales coming out. One of the big ones for the week into Thursday morning, my time, 5 a.m. FOMC meeting minutes will be released. And then just in Friday, there's a few minor items here, but we've got some FOMC members speaking. They could move the market depending on what they say, especially if they're commenting on the FOMC meeting minutes. Alright, so just be aware of all those things coming out. So let's get straight to the charts now. Alright, I don't think I've reviewed the pound yen in recent times, but this is the monthly chart, and what I'm seeing is that some of these lines that I've drawn in for the monthly resistance are overlapping a little bit, but we've got a major high over here. That's at 156.59, and then some more highs that we've been forming over the last 12 months, and we're kind of bound between support and resistance. There's three levels of monthly resistance here, and then we've got monthly support. The level I'm using for that is 148.45. Now I'll give you the exact numbers for these levels when we get to the weekly chart so I can see them better, but hopefully what you can see is that we're range bound here at the moment, holding at resistance. Last month we kind of put a spinning top in at resistance, and this month we traded back up into the resistance zone, and as we get into lower time frames, maybe we're going to start to move back down from that area. So MACD is not really confirming anything, it's not crossing yet. If it does cross, that would be great. That might start to confirm, yes, we've got a solid top coming in at resistance, but that's not quite doing that for us. So at the moment we're range bound, so maybe we could be moving down from resistance to support. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. So on the weekly, so these levels of monthly resistance up here, we've got 156.07, 156.59, and the more recent one formed is at 158.21. Just want to double check that. There we go. That's right. So what I'm seeing is that potentially you could say we have an uptrend because we have a higher bottom and we've traded above the last weekly top form. But for me, from 156.07 up to 158.21, that's just monthly resistance. Do I want to be a buyer in an area of strong monthly resistance that's proved that we've moved into it once and got clearly rejected, we've moved into it twice and we sold off once more? Do I really want to buy in this area? Sure, if we break above the area, then it's game on for the buyers, but at the moment there's a high chance that we're moving in and we could move back out, and what I'm seeing here is that there's the potential of a double top forming here. You could even classify this as a triple top if you start to reverse, because that's one top here, there's another top there, that's two, and if we're forming one here, that's three. So we have had a nice rejection candle last week as we moved up to the 157.76 resistance high there. So let me just put in support and resistance. So what I'm thinking is maybe we're getting a double triple top forming in this area of resistance. So 157.761. And support would be down this level here, 152. Well, I've actually been using this level here, so I'm going to continue using that level, but that's a weekly level too. So this one here is at 152.846. Doesn't really matter which one you use, they're within a few pips of each other. Just using this one really because it's an older one, it's approved level. Alright, so there's ranges within ranges here, but what I'm seeing is that yes, we have an uptrend, but we're moving straight back up into resistance. Are we forming a double top? Okay, MACD, yes, is crossed up, but notably, if you study things here, when we moved up to that high, we did have some negative divergence there. So is the whole negative divergence there just playing out for price action to move down the range? Time will tell. Alright, let's move to the day chart. So I can clearly see here on the day chart we've got a triple top. One top, two tops, we had a minor double top here. Then last week we came rushing up. Tried to trade through, couldn't trade through. Big wick on the candle, we moved back down. Next day, tried to trade back up to that level. Missed it by a few pips, just a few pips, and traded down. So we've got a very poor looking railroad tracks there, but nonetheless, we've got a reversal at that weekly resistance level of 157.76. So what I'm anticipating is that we've got a double top maybe here. If I put in my price projection for that double top, so I'm drawing my fib across the range, and the height of the range projected below my 200% marker here comes down and marries that with, well, it's just beyond where monthly support is. So I wouldn't be looking to target beyond monthly support. In fact, there's a level of weekly support that I'm going to target, but just to show you that if this is a true double top, then potentially we could be moving all the way back down to the 200% price projection. So with that in mind, I'm just going to put in some weekly. I'm actually just going to move back to my weekly chart one moment. Just want to put in another weekly level of support. There's a number of lows down here. So a lower level of support I'm watching is a 149.009. And that's just ahead of that 200% price projection. So that's what I'm going to use as my long-term target if we can move down the range. And if I can put in the right number, 149.009. There we go. Alright, back to the daily. So I've got that level drawn in from over here, this low here. So I've got a number of lows down there at the bottom. 1, 2, 3. So if we do trade down to that level, expect support to come in ahead of that price projection I was showing you. Alright, so the trend on the day chart is actually up at the moment. We've moved up to a higher top, but clearly rejecting. So I'm not really looking at that trend maybe to hold. And even if it does hold, I'm not going to be a buyer in this monthly resistance area. I'll just have to leave it alone. So what am I looking for a reversal? Let me just put in support would be down here for the day chart, 152.899. It's really very similar to the weekly level. And my daily resistance, if I was focusing on that, it would be the same as weekly resistance at the moment. So that's my daily level support, and resistance for me would be up here where the weekly level is. Okay, so those are those levels put in. Now in terms of what am I looking for reversal, I've already got price action up here kind of confirming the reversal, but what I want to show you is this level of 156.07 monthly resistance that we've traded above at the moment. Last month we broke back below here, and in through here, this area here became resistance. That's the same thing I'm looking for now to start to form, that we move back below 156.07. It becomes resistance once more for a move down. So if we move to the 4-hour chart, and if I just highlight for you that price action of last month, we moved below the 156.07 level. Let me get my drawing tool in. Alright, we moved below last month, and then hopefully you can see here that a number of times it became resistance. Started to consolidate, came back up again before breaking down to that weekly support level and finding support. So what I'd like to see is a very similar affair. Can we break back below 156.07. Can we come back up and in this area here hold once more, like we did last month for a move down? So up here I'd be looking to sell on a lower time frame, and then what I'm looking for is, first of all, a move down to this level of weekly support. And yes, if it holds there, if it starts to hold down the 4-hour chart, you probably need to get out and take profit. But let me just clean that off. Because we've got the double top or triple top forming up here, what I'd like to see is that level breaks. So we're able to get in just here as 156.07 holds as resistance as we break below, and then ideally this level gives, and we can trade down to the 14900 level as a good long-term target. So short-term target, if we can move down, would be this level just here, and further moving down to 14900. Now of course it needs to break this level before it can get to that level, and if Russia invades the Ukraine, we could have a risk-off environment, and then even though 14900 looks like it's a long way away, it might not be too far away, if Europe goes to war with Russia. So bear all those things in mind. Alright, so looking for a break back below 156.07 in the short term. Does that level become resistance on a 4-hour chart, dropping down to a lower time frame to find an entry, and then trading down the range? Okay, so that's my analysis for today. Have a great trading week. I look forward to seeing you next time.
Want a real opportunity to improve your trading? Join Duncan Cooper in his free 15-part webinar series designed to help you improve all areas of your trading. The upcoming webinars for this week, 15th of February. Duncan will teach you a simple trade setup using a Trendline Break and combine some of the tools we've learned in the previous webinars. He will take you through the entry criteria, stop loss and profit target levels. 16th February, live Forex market review, identifying high probability trading levels. In this webinar, Duncan will analyze the trend, support and resistance, and use Fibonacci retracements to identify high probability trading levels on the major currency pairs, plus a live Q&A on your favorite charts. 17th of February, Duncan will be utilizing all the tools learned from the previous webinars and show you how to identify high probability trading levels, finishing with a live chart exercise so that you can apply it to your own trading strategy. Register at the link below.